3 minutes late. Sorry. The biggest crime in human history. Being late to stream by 3 minutes. Because I cut my fingertip, my right middle finger. I guess I got some kind of, it looks like a paper cut, but I don't think it was a paper cut, but I hit it on something and the Band-Aid fell off, so I had to get a new one. And kind of hurts, so. I am late. Welcome, everybody. At least I'm not late by a day. True. Sunnyflower, Srinivasa B, Alush, 2010, HK Tito, Burj Khalifa, Geographer, Sphinxen, Haikiri Mapping. I don't think I've seen you in chat before. Welcome. Marble Sphere, One Awesome, Magic Luck, Lithuania Ball Productions, Pyrodas Gaming, Real Neptunes, Marble Sphere. Wow, we got a ton of people tonight. El Country Chileno, New Zealand Ball. Hope everybody has had a great Friday. I was struck by genius today. I have 2 great ideas for a comic. I'm going to draw both of them. They're both very simple. They should be quick, and I should be able to post them pretty quickly. So, the first one I'm going to draw is about Japan, and the punchline is going to be this panel, sort of redone. This was in the most recent Polandball news video. If you haven't seen the latest Polandball news video, go and watch it. Took a lot of time to put together. And I figure, I might as well reuse some of the assets that I draw for it. So let's get right into it. So this is going to be a simple 4-panel comic? 5-panel comic. So first panel is done. And I use this as a thumbnail for this stream. CHCH, welcome. Godzilla fan, welcome. San Bernardino Ball, welcome. Geg, G. Interesting name. Welcome. You made a short comic about Ukraine and Dalmatia's flag. Didn't submit it though. Japan has been drinking plutonium. Yeah, it's gonna be a radioactivity joke. I think you guys can already guess, where this comic is going. But again, I thought this line, "Ouch and fuck, my DNA is due the unravel," is gold, and it needs to be featured in a comic. I don't want it to be lost to history because people don't watch YouTube videos past a couple days after they get posted, You really can't think of any funny Polandball comics. Last one you made was a Wii joke. Comedy can be distilled down into like 5 different kinds of jokes. Everything is just a repackaged way of doing the same thing, right? Misdirection is a good one. Let me see. I've talked about this on stream before, but it's yeah, different types of humor. It can sort of be boiled down to a few things, right? Like there's self-deprecation, physical humor or slapstick, surreal, improv, puns / wordplay, topical, observational, bodily humor, dark humor, misdirection, things like that, Did I actually do the bleep parts to somehow use technical difficulty panel? Yeah, I put the bleep MP3s in. Yellow Hexagon, very slushy, welcome. You recently recreated your Balsona. You added sunglasses and a patrol hat to it. Same ball, though. Nice. I need to draw a new profile picture. Whoops. Bro raged on PNN. True. Hungary. Hungary and Turkey holding up Finland and then Sweden's NATO applications for no good reason was stupid. Turkey had a better reason because they wanted something out of it, you know? I don't know what the fuck Hungary wanted, but they didn't get it, whatever it was. So they're just a pain in the ass, you know? At least Turkey is a significant country. It matters to NATO. Hungary doesn't really. You finished the animation you were making yesterday? Nice. Animations take a long time. So I need to draw Japan again. I think it was Zemo Nitrome who posted a really great comic in the subreddit a little bit earlier this week of a bunch of countries eating like cats and dogs. And that sort of inspired me to reuse, again, this panel and preface it with a couple of panels with Japan eating things that you might not eat in Western culture, for example. Let's make a roughly the same size. You know what? Plutonium being one of those things that you should not eat. But don't listen to me, I'm not a doctor. Maybe it is good for you. How did you even let that anger out on PNN? It was partly genuine. I really hate this sort of pro-Russian sentiment that exists in the West. Russia is not a friend of the West. They have absolutely no... and again, I'm speaking of the Russian state, the Russian government. Obviously, there are people within Russia that oppose things like the Ukraine war, that do want to liberalize their country. But speaking in terms of the state itself, the Russian state does not have Western interests at heart. They do not care about Americans. They don't care about Europeans. They don't care about Ukrainians. They are interested in subjugating people that they believe are beneath them. States that they feel don't have a right to exist, like Ukraine. Ukraine is not the first target that they've had under Putin's regime. It's just the latest and the biggest. So Hungary and Viktor Orban being a useful idiot at best, or being effectively a traitor at worst, is something that I just absolutely cannot stand. Let's see, did I do 3 pixel? I guess I did 5 pixel for the eyes. This, and let's get the sun. Nihon, land of the rising sun. Japan is the Japanese flag is one of my favorite flags. It's absolutely gorgeous, very simple. Oh, I guess I drew it on top of, I didn't do it on the right layer. I always do that. Whoa. Fun fact, unbiquatium, element 124 is perfectly safe to eat. You realize how the UK and Japan are similar? Former imperial islands. You got the NATO map on Wikipedia a day before Sweden was accepted. The OG Country-Ball, Polandball channel is dead. No Idea Animation, Kaliningrad General, and more. I think I've seen Kaliningrad General 1 or 2 times in the past. But, yeah, I mean... Obviously, there are a lot of YouTube channels that do Polandball and Country Ball content that are way older than us. We're only about 6 months old, if even that. But there are no... I've said this before, but you would be very hard-pressed to find people who have been making Country Ball, Polandball content longer than myself, Aaron, Dick Rhino, and a couple of other of the veterans of the Polandball subreddit. But I wish we had gotten into the YouTube game earlier. But you know what they say. The best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. Clean up this ball a bit. That's a good fix. Kaliningrad General still has a huge following. He came back last month and made a video with Estonia. Nice. Good for him. No idea animation is using math on country balls, Poland balls. Yeah, I don't like... I am a stickler for the rules. The Poland ball rules. If you're going to make official Poland ball content for this channel or on the subreddit, you have to follow the rules. If you want to draw country balls with limbs, with hair, with eyelashes, with mouths, go somewhere else. You know? It's totally fine if you want to do it that way because, again, art is entirely subjective. I don't personally like it, but, you know, more power to people if they want to do it. But there's a reason why the Poland Ball subreddit is still the premier place for Poland Ball content, for country ball content, and other places like, you know, various YouTube channels or Facebook pages or whatever are not, and why they die. So... Northern Ireland and North Korea. Sort of see where you're getting at there. There's a bomb blast in Rameshwaram Cafe in Bengaluru, and your house is less than an hour away from there. Oh, that's scary. Okay, now I am going to draw a dolphin, as you may have guessed. Now, I don't think I've ever drawn a dolphin before. So, don't make fun of me. It's my first time. Let's see, how do we draw a dolphin? Let's do 3 pixel. It's gonna be like on the ground dead, you know? So this is kind of a dark comic. It's not that dark. But geez, I feel like dolphins are kind of hard to draw. This isn't right. Oh man, not great. Dorsal fin. Okay, this is not a terrible start. Poor dolphin. Manny to the Max, welcome. Have I ever heard of the US politician Vermin Supreme? He's very funny. Yes. I am familiar with Vermin Supreme. He's pretty cool. He's the guy who wears that rain boot on his head. Are any of you Japanese or have visited Japan? I've never been to Japan. I would really like to visit it. Okay, I think I need to make the tail look better. Japan and Korea are near the top of my list. Please don't go there. It's weird. No, it's just different from Western culture, you know? You got naked girls in the anime. I believe that's called hentai. I think maybe this needs to be sort of a little bit more gradual, sort of. Okay. Dolphins are cool. My favorite animal is an orca. They're smart as hell. They're so cool. Everyone on 14th of April, Valentine's Day, yay. Indonesians on 14th of April, instantly epic battle of 3 next new president of Indonesia arguing. It's a 2-round election system, right, in Indonesia? The first round was on April 14th, and when is the next one? Indonesia presidential election. Oh no, okay, I guess it's only, it's 1 round. Wait, is it? Hold on. Oh, I'm looking at the general election. Presidential election, yeah, 14th. Okay, yeah, it's just 1 round. Prabowo Subianto, Anies Baswedan, Ganjar Pranowo. I'm sure I'm butchering all of those names. I am a big fan of Indonesian food. Okay. Let's do lines behind the dolphin. Sort of, you know how they're kind of lighter on the bottom? Oh, whoops. It shouldn't be like that. The pectoral fin needs to be... Let's bring it up a bit. Dolphins are cute, but they are rapey. It's bottlenose dolphins. You're smart as hell. Other monarchies. We will go make the country better. Spanish monarchy. I will go to Dubai and fall in love with an elephant. What? Can you give us more context? I don't understand this. But the first premise that other monarchies want to make their country better is a bit of a stretch anyway. Monarchies are dumb as hell. I think even ceremonial monarchies, like the British monarchy, is stupid. Like, having literal kings and queens and nobles, like aristocrats, in the 21st century is super embarrassing. Okay. I think this is a good shape for the dolphin, which is dead. We'll put like a bite chunk in it. Oh, poor dolphin. All right, so they're like gray. Oh, that's too much. Gray, and then a little bit lighter underbelly, right? Sad. Big Sag. The dorsal fin might be a little bit too big. Let me see. Bottlenose dolphin. I think fin might need to be back more. Yeah, it needs to be back more. And probably a little bit smaller. So it's doing 5 pixel for the... no, 3 pixel. And then this needs to be a little bit more of a gradual upward slope. Okay. It's a little bit better. Oh, front flipper, or the pectoral flipper. Fin, pectoral fin, needs to be a little bit smaller. They have actually kind of small flippers now that I'm looking at an actual photo of one. Okay, some of them have markings that look kind of like this. As someone living in a constitutional monarchy, you agree you're not a big fan of it? Yeah, constitutional monarchies are stupid. Like, if you're going to have a ceremonial executive of some kind, why not just have them be elected? You know? Why does it have to be a hereditary position? Like, that's so stupid. Like, why should this one family, for absolutely no reason, be wealthier and famous than anyone? You know? It's stupid. It's unfair. You know, like the idea that you could never, if you're not born to the right family, you're never going to be able to be the head of state of this country, right? You have no shot. There are 11 separatist regions in Spain. Seems low. You would like to visit Japan as your great uncle who fought in the Korean War is buried there. He was unfortunately bullied into it by his brother. He's bullied into fighting in the Korean War. That sucks. Alright, let's take a bite mark or something out of this. Take a chunk out of this dolphin. So, instead of coffee tonight, I bought wine. So I'm going to be drinking wine at some point. It's been a long, very tiring week for me. I hope you guys had good weeks. The British government and the monarchy is not bad. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't care that the monarchy doesn't have any power in a ceremonial or in a constitutional monarchy. It should not exist, right? Like, I take fundamental offense at the idea that this family in perpetuity is special and rich and famous. It's stupid. Like, all of that can be done by a person who is democratically elected. Average human, you haven't been to a stream in a bit, but hello, welcome. Back, I guess. The British monarchy is very what? I don't know what that is. Very Russian? That's what it... Oh yeah, that's what Google Translate's telling me. Mr. Spherical is famous for breaking the country ball / Polandball rules. Yeah, I don't think he's part of the r / Polandball subreddit. But I know he's pretty popular. But, you know, we're here because we like the strict rules. I mean, look, it's ultimately, you know, us debating whether or not the British monarchy should exist is sort of a privileged argument to have because it doesn't serve a real purpose. They don't have actual power. Nevertheless, I feel like monarchies are an anachronism in a world where we should have, you know, more Republican forms of government. Whoops. Lithuania ball production, I will get you next. Next time I draw, I already actually downloaded your picture. Next time I do a, what's it called? A profile picture drawing stream. But I have two ideas for good comics today. One of them is Japan, one of them is about Gaza. If you guys saw the news earlier today, U.S. President Joe Biden announced that the U.S. is going to airdrop food aid to Gaza because they desperately need it. So I have a comic idea about that. Spanish king, what a great country. Spanish president, what a great country to make a coup and turn into a republic. Wasn't it the, I forget who the king was. This is King Juan Carlos, who helped aid the transition to democracy after Franco died. Okay, now let's make this bite mark more pronounced. Maybe not a bite mark, but like Japan cut a chunk out of this poor dolphin. Oh, poor dolphin. So sad. One time you saw a post measuring an asteroid by 25 washing machines. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like an unspoken sort of, not rule, but like tradition among journalists to use like absurd measuring comparisons for things like asteroids. Somebody help you? You don't at all know what Super Saiyan means? Super Saiyan is, it's from the Dragon Ball Z anime and manga. Or Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z. Well, it is from Dragon Ball Z, but the Dragon Ball manga and then anime series from Japan is probably one of the biggest and most well-known of manga or anime. And the the main protagonist is Goku. And Goku is from a race of Saiyans, which are like these, they're humanoid, they're essentially humans, but they have tails. His race are called Saiyans, and then they have this ability to like increase their power level by going Super Saiyan, where their hair like stands up, goes yellow, and they have like this yellow glow around them. They become super powerful. So Super Saiyan is like, you know, a more powerful state for these kinds of warriors. Alien warrior race. It's good. The original Dragon Ball series and Dragon Ball Z are good. Dragon Ball Z is good up until, I would say like I didn't really like the Buu Saga. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Dragon Ball Z, but the Cell Saga and the Android Saga were great. The Frieza Saga was great. The first one, I guess, is like the Namek Saga. I wasn't a huge fan of, but it's not Namek. What is it? Is it the Piccolo Saga? I don't know. Yeah, I've never really been into anime, but Dragon Ball Z was on Cartoon Network when I was a kid, and I would watch those when I would come home from school. And I mean, it's popular for a reason. It's fun. Dragon Ball it's a fun anime. Okay, let's do another set of chopsticks. But yeah, Japan is also a constitutional monarchy, and it's stupid. That was, I believe, the one condition in their surrender in World War II, was that they would not let the Americans abolish the emperor and the imperial family. And the US agreed to it. Okay. Yeah, Dragon Ball's super fun. You watch Dragon Ball with your dad. He made you and your brother grow up with it. Add blood? Yeah, I'm gonna add blood to it. Are you supposed to be flattered when Sunnyflower calls you Super Saiyan? Yeah, Super Saiyan is cool as hell. Absolutely. Oh, you know what? I need to make these chopsticks need to be a little bit farther apart. That should be easy to split them, though. Oh, God. Let's just duplicate this. Erase the top one. Erase the bottom one. Okay, now it needs to have like a piece of blubber. What does dolphin meat look like? I don't want to Google that, you know? I'm gonna guess what a piece of dolphin meat looks like. This is terrible. This is not an animal you should eat. You're tired of the UK or Iraq crying or getting scared or being a loser over something? What do you mean? Like, in what context? Watch Oversimplified. Oversimplified is a YouTube channel, right? That sounds familiar. It's funny because unlike the UK, I don't know what country you're talking about. Didn't have an empress regent for centuries because of patriarchal-based tradition. That you could be wrong. Are you talking about Japan or Russia? Because of the offensiveness. What offensiveness? What are we talking about in regards to the UK and Iraq? You want to watch The Cove out of a curiosity, but decided he says no. Yeah, I agree. Me, an Asian vegetarian, smell trauma. I was a vegetarian for 4 years, and I gave it up this year, 2 months ago. It takes a lot of dedication to maintain a very strict kind of diet, vegetarianism or veganism, and you know, it's I couldn't do it anymore. So I imagine this is kind of stringy, but I don't know if that's right. It's probably not. I don't want to Google dolphin meat, so you know what? I think it's pretty obvious. Okay, let's do the blood. Maybe not on that. Let's have I think it's maybe too bright. Make it darker. I feel like the blood kind of takes away from the joke. It's not really necessary now. It's just like added sort of... It's gruesome. You're a vegetarian, but only because you don't like the taste of meat. That's totally fair. I was a vegetarian for moral reasons, not like cultural or anything like that. It was... you know, the animal cruelty part, factory farming is pretty gross. And climate change. You know, it's just like we can't. We're not going to do anything about climate change if like everybody eats a lot of red meat. You know. Can you make an official Polandball game? I have no idea how to make games, so probably not. No, sorry. All that race war contests or maps in years in regards to the UK and Iraq. What do you mean? Like, are you just talking about like bitterness over British imperialism in the Middle East, or I don't know what's the deal? You searched dolphin meat and saw it. It's like light pink at the top and black at the bottom. There's more black than pink. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't have moral reservations about people eating meat. I think it's totally fine. Like, I eat meat now again. It's sort of the natural order. You know, humans are omnivores. We didn't evolve to be vegetarians. There's something wrong with vegetarianism. It's harder to have it's harder to be healthy on a vegetarian or a vegan diet than it is to be omnivorous. Oh, regarding UK crying over the Queen or Iraq having COVID and political crisis. What was I saying? Okay, I think this is... Oh, I should draw the cleaver. Let's get the right size. Yeah, the problem I have with the meat industry is that it's not sustainable, and it treats the animals absolutely miserably, you know? But the idea that like one person can make a difference in these kinds of massive issues is an absolute farce, you know? Individual action means nothing in regards to collective action problems. Down H to Country Ball, welcome back. What is the counter of the German Empire? The counter? France and Britain. On the topic of monarchies, you believe that monarchies should have had their time and should be abolished? Yeah, I mean, totally agree. Again, I think they're anachronistic. They belong to, you know, previous eras of human history when people didn't try other kinds of government, you know? Just authoritarian garbage. But, yeah, I mean, I think monarchies are just straight up stupid. It's like, I don't know, like, I grew up in a Republican form of government, right? The U.S. is a republic. It's a democratic republic system, right? We don't have a hereditary head of state. So, you know, there is an inherent cultural bias that I have towards Republican government. The idea that we elect our head of state. That being said, I don't think it's wrong for me to feel that monarchies are stupid, you know? Oh, whoops. I need to do the notch over here. Wow, I made it perfectly without having to like go in and fix the pixels. Damn, this is brutal. $15. Black text. E2 dolphin. Conrad's birthday is tomorrow. Happy early birthday, Conrad. Everybody give Conrad a happy birthday in the chat. Hope you have a great birthday tomorrow. It's not just Japan that hunts cetaceans. Faroe Islands and the Inuit Nation hunts whales. I think it's bad if they hunt too many whales. Oh, you think it's bad if they hunt too many whales or in a wasteful way, like hunting just for the oil? Yeah, I mean, so Japan gets the lion's share of attention, but Norway, Faroe Islands, yeah. Again, I take issue with even like traditional societies, you know, like Inuits hunting whales because they've always done it. Like, it's just straight up wrong. Like, I'm sorry. I take sort of a moral absolutist stand on this. I don't think it is okay to deliberately hunt and eat animals that are self-aware. And basically all whales and dolphins are. You know, they're much closer in intellectual capacity to a human than they are to something like a fish or a chicken. You know, I think even things like pigs sort of straddle the line of what I think is acceptable in terms of like what kind of animal that we should be eating. Because pigs are smarter than dogs, generally. It's just a cultural bias in the West that we have toward not eating dogs, but eating pigs, right? There are breeds of dogs that are meant to be eaten. I would personally never eat a dog, but I understand that the argument about, you know, eating pigs versus dogs is more culturally dependent than something like eating whales, you know? What comics did I make that had the best punchline? I'd have to think about that. HK Tito, your birthday was February 9th. Happy belated birthday. Hope it was good. March 5th, December 4th, July 2nd, May 30th. All right, let's move the cleaver over here. Chopsticks. Maybe give a black outline to the blubber. I'm not going to do shading on this comic. Maybe I will. Probably not, though. I think this is a very like classic Polandball feel I'm going for. You have another comic idea? Well, I'm glad I could serve as inspiration of some kind. So, congrats. Or rather, thank you. Leap day was yesterday. Happy leap birthday to you, leaplings. Okay. Okay, this seems good. Don't eat dolphins, kids. Let's merge this. This needs to be moved down a bit. Okay. Next one. It's gonna be a whale. Spoilers. Mikhail Gorbachev was also born on March 2nd. It's interesting. The UK still has a monarch for tourism, and that's it. I mean, it's not just tourism, but even still, the argument that that the British royal family brings in more money through tourism than the state spends on them is still bullshit. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I take a fundamental opposition to the existence of a monarch and a monarchy. I'd like, why does it matter if it's profitable or not? You know. But, you know, there's also the argument that France got rid of their monarchy a long time ago, and they get a shitload of tourists to Versailles. You have 15, 16 comic ideas piled up? Yeah, I added a couple to my my document list as well, my ideas list today. Nato, welcome back. Is the music too loud? Okay. Drawing Japan number 3. Japan. It's easy to, I should do more comics with Japan. The flag is so easy to draw. I want to flip this horizontally. So the eyes. Make the shallower angle for the eyes. Bring the right eye a little bit closer. Okay. Let's do the sun. Nihon. Alright, now I need to draw a whale. I have no idea how to draw a whale, but that dolphin turned out alright. Belize is the worst current national flag. Change your mind. Turkmenistan. Let me see Belize's flag. I mean, yeah, it's bad. I think Turkmenistan has the worst flag of any country. Current country. When New Zealand bicycle flag comic? I don't know that I would that would be postable on the subreddit. Let's do the cleaver. We'll do the whale last. Handle. You know what I've been watching recently? Netflix's what is it called? The new Avatar series, the live action. That's the term I was looking for. The live action Avatar series. I had never watched the cartoon. I knew very roughly what the story was, like the general premise, but I feel like I would have enjoyed it more if I had seen the cartoon first, because like it's certainly like really high production value. It looks good, but it really does feel like I'm watching a live action cartoon, if that makes sense. Like it's very cartoony, and the characters, the actors' mannerisms, the general feel of the show. Like I'm not saying it's bad. I'm curious if like, any of you have watched Avatar and feel strongly about it one way or the other compared to the cartoon. Because I've only ever heard good things about the cartoon, but I've never watched it. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Not that James Cameron Blue Aliens Avatar, the cartoon Avatar. But yeah, I've not watched the cartoon. I've seen clips of it, and so I didn't have a strong opinion on it before watching the live action series. I think I'm on the 3rd episode. Oh, whoops, I should have done this. Fill this in. Cleaver's good. Oh no, I have to do the white markings, the shine on it. That's good. Okay. Cleaver yummy. You haven't seen Avatar? I mean, it's an interesting premise that... God, the thing that I really don't like so far... I mean, I get it. Like, it was a it's based on a cartoon for children, right? Like, it's a children's show. So I guess I had different expectations watching it. I was hoping it would be a little bit more mature. Like all of the fights and stuff in it, it's like people just get knocked to the ground. There's no like actual blood or death in it, you know? Not necessarily that it needs it. It reminds you like that it's a cartoon. And you know, you have these characters that are like bending water and air and earth and fire. And it feels like all of like their special powers are super weak, you know, like the water bending is probably the dumbest because it's just like you're shooting someone with a super soaker, like a water gun, you know. It feels really weak. Like you're just splashing someone with water, and that's supposed to be like a powerful attack. It's just it feels really hokey, I guess, is what I'm getting at. So, I mean, I hope the fans of the series like it because I know that. The M. Night Shyamalan film adaptation from a number of years ago was universally panned. So hopefully the new series they like, but I haven't looked it up. Let's do chopsticks again. That's too thick. That's too long. This a little bit. Where do I live? I live in New York City. One of your friends was also hacked today because of the crypto thing. So Hadley, what crypto thing? Do you know YU 1039? His edits are awesome, but he's been hacked because of crypto scam. Let's hope YU channel's back. Yeah, I mean, I stay away from crypto because it's just cryptos are pump and dumps. They're not real, you know. They're dumb. So. You suggest we make a movie with Mr. Spherical and some 3D creators? Alpaca, who is one of the people that works on the channel, does our animations, and they do a great job. I don't know that we would want to partner with channels that don't adhere to the rules on the r/Polandball subreddit. Okay, let's try this. I need to flip it, transform, flip horizontal, and then I'll have to add a whale blubber. Alright, I mean, it can't be like a huge whale. Maybe it should be a huge whale to really emphasize that Japan is unhinged. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna do my best to draw a whale on land. Oh, God. So the dolphin came out fine. So I'm capable of drawing these kinds of animals. But whales are much bigger. That's not right. It can't be so big that it goes off the screen, you know? Or off the canvas. Shit, this is bad. How do I draw a goddamn whale? You went to New York City once, your brain will never be the same. It's very stimulating, for sure. I mean, any major city is, can overload the senses pretty quickly. This is okay, maybe. What's my opinion on the Lofa County flag? What is Lofa County? Oh, it's one of the Liberian flags? All of the Liberian county flags are great. They're all S tier in my opinion. Do you like Drew Durnall? No. He steals people's content, reacts to it, makes money off it without getting consent from the people. Including my comments. My comics. He's never once asked me if it's okay to use my comics in his videos. The answer would be no, of course. Alright. How can I fix this whale to not look like shit? Oh, maybe like that. Oh yeah, okay, so whale is normally sort of like, or a baleen whale is kind of shaped like this, right? It's got a rounded sort of snout at the top, and then it sort of dramatically tapers kind of down like that. Let's make it more dramatic. This is a very small whale. What kind of whales do they typically eat or hunt? Like humpbacks? Not just Japan, but like Norway and whatever other countries have active whaling industries. For research, quote unquote. This is a bad tail. I don't know how to fix the tail because it's lying down like on the ground, you know? So the tail really shouldn't be that visible, like the entirety of it. You know what we can do? We can just do like the front half of the whale and sort of cut off the rest. Something like this. And then we can do like a stylized panel. Let's see. Damn, humpback whales look sick. Big ass fins. You have a comic series idea. There's already two parts, two ideas that are ready. Series is basically based on Ukraine war. UK plus rain / water equals Ukraine. A dumb comic idea on one of the previous streams. That's interesting. You could, yeah. I mean, you can. There's definitely an idea there. There's a funny joke to be made there. You have a big story. Sri Lanka is about to sell their airline, or their national carrier. Okay, and then we'll sort of cut off the panel here, where that squiggly line is. Drawing the X for the eyes is always funny. I think the eye is a little bit lower on a humpback whale. Clean up this fin over here. Alright, let's do behind the whale. Let's do like a purplish pink. So it looks kind of like the belly or whatever is like this, and then they've got lines, right? Maybe let me... The whale is going to be grayish, right? Whoops. And then... and it's sort of like a mottled white on the fins. Yeah, humpbacks look cool. I'm a fan. Not sure how tasty they are, though. I've had shark before. I didn't think it was very good. Is your opinion on the Bilbao flag? Let's take a look. Nautical. Hold on. Oh, it's okay. It's sort of bland. It's just a red square in the top left corner on a white field. It's okay. It's sort of the lines like this on its belly. Putting more effort into the whale than I probably should. It's not necessary. Get a picture of a humpback. So they've got like white splotches sort of on their snout as well. All sorts of barnacles and stuff. I'm not going to draw the barnacles. Or we take a chunk of this whale out. Move the eye a little bit lower. That's good enough for me. All right, where do we take the chunk of blubber out of the whale? Options. We can have it sort of look like a bite mark like the dolphin, or could do like a square sort of like here of exposed flesh or something. I don't know. Let's try this. What would this look like? I have an idea. Let's try this. to make it look layered, you know? Let's see what this looks like. Maybe we can add another layer. Yeah, that kind of looks like a chunk was taken out of it, right? Then I can move it somewhere. Here, let's erase this. Let's add one more layer. A little bit darker. I feel bad for this whale. Sag. Yeah, okay, that's good. Now it looks like that's a deep cut. A lot of blubber, you know? You gotta go deep. Solve this equation. I don't know, I just put it in ChatGPT and it couldn't do it. You don't know why you know this, but whale meat is a deep red color. Okay. Let's make it deeper red. I mean, for the purposes of the comic here, I guess it should be... Hold on, let's flip this horizontally, or vertically. Let's see what it looks like. Nah, that doesn't look right. Let's put it more to the top. Over there. It's sort of angled like it's on the top part of the... of the whale. Poor whale. Does that look better? I don't think that looks better. Like, even if that's more accurate, I feel like it doesn't look better. For the purposes of this comic, whale meat is pink. No idea what whale meat actually looks like. I hope I never have to find out. But I had... God, I think earlier this week I saw a video of a whale explode. That was pretty cool. They get full of gas, they rise to the surface, and then they just explode. When they're dead. Okay, now we need to get a piece of whale meat inside the chopsticks. Okay. So same deal here. Kind of layered chunk of meat. Zoom out, let's get the right color. Whoops, back in. Whale sashimi. Damn, that's a thick chunk of whale. Like a whale burger. It's whale fillet. Oops. Where did I draw the... What layer did I draw the meat on? Oh, okay. Oops. here's the meat. Let's try flipping this horizontally. That makes a little bit more sense. Oh, that poor whale. I kind of jump scared you. The zoom out on the whale. Okay, we add some blood. Have this follow the contours of the fin. Pectoral fin. God, whales are fucking huge, man. Did you see that video? It was posted on Reddit earlier this week of some dude was windsurfing and he got hit by a whale that was breaching. It was crazy. It's like if you didn't have it on video, no one would ever believe that story. You just get smacked by a whale. Whoops. Okay. Aw. The United States of America declared independence from the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland with the support of Kingdom of France in 1776. Actually, it was just the United Kingdom of Great Britain at the time. The union with Ireland didn't happen until 1801, I believe. And it would have been the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland anyway. It became the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland in, what, 1922, 1924? Me being pedantic. Oh, there are whale emojis? Sick. How do you do emojis in chat other than like copying and pasting them? Are there just like Unicode? Make a sea dragon releasing caviar, and Russia keeps it in a pot while Japan eats the meat. What is a sea dragon? You mean like a mythical thing, or is that like a kind of a leafy sea dragon? It's like a. It looks like a seahorse. That is a crazy looking animal. Here, I'll pull it up. Leafy sea dragon. Streaming folder. This is a leafy sea dragon. This is a crazy looking animal. Look at this. Deep fry it. Is this endangered? No, at least concerned. This looks like the kind of thing that would be endangered because people would eat the shit out of this. Their skeleton is crazy too. Basically looks exactly like this except for the fins. It's like curvy, got bones sticking out everywhere. Kind of creepy. Place a colon symbol and then the name of the emoji and then place another. Yeah. I was trying to look for the Japanese flag. I guess there's no emoji for it. You think it's beautiful, but you'd be terrified if you saw it? Yeah, like in person, if I was swimming around and I saw this, I'd freak the fuck out. The ocean is terrifying. Biblically accurate seahorse. No flag emojis. That's a shame. Okay. Chopsticks. Where's Japan? Should be some blood on the cleaver, huh? Let's give it a little bit more. Imagine if you're hacking away at a whale. Once you get past the blubber, there's going to be a lot of blood, right? Poor whale. Did not deserve this fate. Merge that layer. This comic is so dumb. Nihon adventurous eater. Itu dolphin. Itu where? All right, next panel. I'll come back and I'll stylize that third panel. You love watching streams on mobile? Your computer would try if you died to. So this is one of the things that I feel is like a generational divide. I like grew up, you know, with a desktop computer and like I hate watching videos on my phone. Like having such a small screen is just awful. I guess it's one of the reasons why I've never bothered even downloading TikTok is I don't want to watch shit on my phone, you know? I did a panel while you did eyes for Polandball assets. Yeah, I went snorkeling once as a kid and saw a barracuda, and it freaked me out. And I just booked it to shore. So. I'm not really a fan of snorkeling or scuba diving or anything like that. I have no desire to do it. I am a land critter. I tend to stay that way. Okay, let's try another Japan. Trace some balls. It's Friday night. What are you doing? Tracing balls. Tracing some green balls. I think it might be time for a drink. Oh no! I didn't do it on a separate layer. J-Pan. Zoom out one more time. All right. Pretty good ball. Great ball, one might say. You know only how to cook ramen noodles. I love ramen. I'm a huge fan of ramen. Do I want a burger or a burger? Burger. All right, let's give him some eyes. This comic, I think this comic is going to do well. It's sort of just like very absurd Polandball humor, very classic humor. What does plutonium actually look like? It's red when it's hot. Let's see. No, it's silvery white, tarnishing the dark gray in air. I guess when it's put in an RTG, is when it sort of glows red. Here, actually, let's do the eye something like this. He's gonna be holding it up. He looks like an alien when I have him green. Alright, let's do the sun with some red. Sun behind the eyes. Merge all of this. Make it black. And then, how's he going to be holding the plutonium? I guess it doesn't need to actually be, like, I don't actually have to show the plutonium. It just needs to be a container with the radiological symbol, right? Yeah, let's just do a container. Oops. Okay, container. Let's do 3 pixels. Maybe 2. Let's do 2 pixels. Kind of like a jar type thing. too bulbous on the left side. Okay, let's make this silvery. And then maybe like, can we do yellow here? Maybe black, I don't know. Let's do the radiological symbol. One pixel for the outline. Not a great circle. Man, I can't draw a circle. Would you guys eat plutonium if someone offered it to you? It's got a lot of calories in it. You wouldn't have to eat for the rest of the day. You know, or ever after that. It's rude to turn it down if someone offers you food. Okay, let's make this yellow. And then, actually no, sorry, it's not supposed to be yellow. Oh yeah, it is supposed to be yellow. Okay, sorry. The field is yellow and then the icon is black. Eraser smaller. What the hell? Let's zoom out, see what it looks like. Okay, I think that looks okay. Should we make it glow? Let's make it glow. Put a green glow or something around it. Is that better with red? Red outline? You would make a plutonium one of your cake ingredients? Yeah, yellow cake, right? There you go. Well, the yellow cake is uranium, I think, right? You'd eat plutonium, it might make you glow in the dark. Yeah, see, it's worth it. You either get leukemia or you get superpowers. It's a coin flip. Let's try a dark gray for this. You know what? No, let's do green. And then let's give it a green aura. A green glow. And then 25%. I actually love how this is turning out. This might be like one of my favorite comics that I've drawn in a while. 15. This is such a... I love this comic. I think this is great. Let's give him chopsticks again. Oh, man. Chopsticks 2. Whoa, okay. There we go, right layer. 2. It's making me hungry. Maybe I should order food tonight, or... Actually, I made couscous, and... I had a sandwich for lunch today. I had a turkey sandwich. It was good. I don't really want to cook. Do any of you guys like cooking? I absolutely hate cooking. I wish I liked it. I wish I was one of those people that liked cooking and could pick it up as a hobby, but I absolutely hate it. I just don't find it fun at all. It's a chore. Inhale radioactive. Let's flip these. Move this a little bit over. Here now, what I can do is let's merge these, and then I'm gonna center this. You're sensitive to being told no. I'm allergic to bad vibes. Jump scare. Oh yeah, I could eat like just sandwiches. I love sandwiches. Okay, I really like this comic so far. Oh, the background wasn't pure white. Interesting. Okay, so now I'm gonna sort of remake this panel as the last panel. Basically reverse engineering an entire comic because I wanted to use this line. Ouch and fuck, my DNAs do the unravel. Alright, let's go green. Actually, no, let's do purple. Pinkish. Hot pink. Fuchsia. 3 pixel. I'm gonna trace this. Is this... Hold on, what, is this the right size? Yeah, that's good enough. Okay. Oh no! God damn it! I didn't do it on the right layer. I hate when I do that. I do that all the time, where I draw like on the actual drawing instead of the layer that I'm putting over it. Bottom. Okay. To the eyes. Eyes behind. Let's do them like a dark blue. Okay. Let's do the sun also behind. And let's make that a green, perhaps? Okay. Can merge these now and make them the right colors. Can erase this part of the layer. Poor Japan. Don't eat nuclear material. How did I do the sweat beads? Okay. Blue. Let's do it on a separate layer. Can you see the full comic right now? You're aware it's not fully done, but you want to see the plot and all? Yeah, sure. Let's go to fit on screen. Let's go 100%. Nihon, adventurous eater. E2 dolphin. E2 where? E2 plutonium? I think this is a good comic. The plutonium is emanating through your screen. You can feel your skin peeling. Doesn't everyone have insomnia? I think people have like a biological bias towards being more active at certain times. You know, like it's why we have the terms morning person, night person, evening person, you know? This plays out a bit like a Monty Python sketch in a way. Yeah, it's very absurd, you know? And again, a very, 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 very simple rule in comedy, in humor. Anyone, you know, making a joke, if you're writing something funny, if you're making a comic, it doesn't matter. The rule of 3 is golden. You do not need more than 2 examples to establish a pattern, right? So I do this in all of my comics. If, like, this is, you know, the punchline is that, you know, he's eating he's eating nuclear material, right? Like, at least the first 2 are edible, right? You can actually eat a dolphin, you can eat a whale. They're weird, but you shouldn't eat plutonium. 2 establishes a pattern, right? The setup is so that the third panel, you're expecting in your mind, because humans are pattern-seeking animals, you're expecting a third strange animal for him to eat, right? But no, he's eating nuclear material. So you don't need to do dolphin, whale, cow, pig. All you need is 2. You never need more than 2 to establish a pattern. So follow the rule of 3 in comedy. It's always funnier when you're succinct in that way. You know, like there are a lot of comics that just give too many examples, and it takes too long for you to get to the punchline. You've already established a pattern. It doesn't add anything, you know? Oh, God. Okay, let's make him green and radioactive. What color green did I use here? That's the bright green. First layer. Let's try 35. Let's try 30. 25. 35 is too strong, I think. Let's try 28. Let's try 28. Okay. Last year, you usually got 5 hours of sleep, or maybe none. What if you gave Japan intense radiation burns? No, I think it's funnier if he's just glowing. Like, it doesn't need to be graphic, you know? But, yeah, like, going back to what I was talking about, I think there's sort of... I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure that it's thought that there's, like, it's an evolutionary... sort of adaptation that humans in large populations have some people who are naturally more active during night, some more active during evening, some more active during morning, right? So that it's safer for your tribe if someone is always awake while others are asleep to protect the others, right? To keep watch for predators. So I am decidedly a night owl. I really sort of hit my stride between 8 and 10 o'clock at night. 8, 10 p.m. It's like right now. Okay. Now, let's make him glow. Screen again. We'll do a couple layers. Let's do another layer, glow 2. This will be behind. It's more important that I get the layers above. What was it doing? 25? 15? Shit, I have to fix this. I didn't do this right. Yeah, I have to redo the filter over Japan. And let's do one more glow. Go back up to this green. I'm doing what? 25% of yeah, I'm doing 25% opacity. Okay. Kind of like he's going Super Saiyan, just wrong color, and he's getting a lot weaker. Let's make these 15. Maybe the first one could be 25. Yeah. 25, 20, 15 for the glow. Okay. I'm gonna hide those glow layers real quick. Redo the filter over Japan. Hold on, this is Japan. Just do a green circle around him. Fill it in. I think I made this 30%. Yeah, let's do 30%. Merge it. Okay. Merge the glow layer into one, and then I'm going to erase underneath him because he's laying down. Does that look better? Maybe I keep it like this. You've never been a big anime fan? Yeah, me neither. I just watched Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and that was basically the entirety of my foray into anime. I wish, like, I could appreciate it more, but I guess I'm not, it's just not, it doesn't really appeal to me. What's everybody's favorite show, TV show of all time? Japan. All right. Now I think the character should be the U.S. It doesn't really matter who it is. I just think the U.S. is like a good character to act as like the straight man if somebody else is the butt of the joke, you know? You're a big Azumanga Daioh fan and Neon Genesis Evangelion fan? Is Neon Genesis Evangelion, is that the one with like the giant mech suits? I mean, that doesn't really narrow down a lot of anime, does it? But it's like the giant mech suits fighting like kaiju aliens. SpongeBob? Yeah, SpongeBob is solid. The first like 2-3 seasons of SpongeBob are great. I love SpongeBob memes. Loud House? I don't know what Loud House is. Your favorite movies are Star Wars? That's fair. My favorite... So I like if people were to ask me what my favorite movie is, I would probably say the original Star Wars film, Episode 4, New Hope. Although my personal favorite of the Star Wars films is Return of the Jedi. I just enjoy it more, but I think, you know, the original Star Wars is an objectively better film. You've watched a bunch of Simpsons if you don't really remember it. Simpsons seasons 2 through 10 are peak animated comedy. Like, The Simpsons they were on point for a solid 8 years. Just fantastic. Like, I reference Simpsons episodes that I've watched, 20 years ago, still to this day. Simpsons has lasting power. So seasons 2 through 10, just the golden era of Simpsons is absolutely fantastic. You've watched 20 movies in the past month. There wasn't one you really disliked. Oh, you know what I watched last weekend? I watched the most recent Grand Tour special. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Top Gear. It's a... Top Gear was a motoring show on the BBC, and it was popularized in like the early 2000s, really, by Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond. They were the three presenters, and they would review cars. It was a car show, and they would go on adventures with cars and stuff like that. And then they left BBC. I won't go into the detail, but then they got picked up by Amazon maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, and they've been doing specials for the past 5 years where they just get a bunch of cars, 3 cars usually, and they go on some adventure somewhere. And the most recent episode came out 2 weeks ago, and I watched it last weekend. It's called Sand Job, where they go to Mauritania in northwest Africa, and they're trying to get from the middle of the Sahara Desert down to Dakar in Senegal. So they're doing the Paris-Dakar, which is a very famous rally where you drive from Paris to Dakar in Senegal, but they did the bit that starts in the Sahara, which is the most interesting part, right? It was really, really good. I highly recommend it. Look up Sand Job on Amazon. It's unfortunately the penultimate episode. They only have one more that they're doing. So savor it. Those guys are great. They're just absolutely hilarious to watch. The Grand Tour. Luna is your favorite? You know Top Gear, you never sat down and watched it, though? Yeah, I mean, not every Top Gear episode was great, but they had a lot of good stuff. Luna, TV series. British children's science fiction comedy show produced by Central Television for the ITV network, which ran 2 series, 1983 and 1984. I have not heard of this. Interesting. The character from her profile picture is from Neon Genesis Evangelion. Oh, okay. Welcome, Vori. I'm gonna get a drink before I finish this comic. I'll be right back. I'm gonna mute my mic real quick. I have returned. Cheers. Music is a vibe. True. Synthwave. It's my favorite genre. You love the ending of Evangelion? I mean, you almost cried. I should at least, like, read the synopsis of the series, because it's very popular. Petition to play in the Hall of the Mountain King. It's... You know what? Yeah, let's do that. I can pull it up in the YouTube studio. Audio library. Search. You're a big night owl, waking up at 4:30 a.m. to watch these streams? Wow. I'm super flattered. Why anyone would wake up at 4:30 in the morning to watch me rant and draw balls. I'm glad you enjoy it, though. What did I drink? I bought a shitty bottle of Chardonnay. I don't know what it is. 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 I I'm not going to speak over the music. I'll let it play for itself. Awesome. Do they have 1812 Overture? Oh, they do! Alright. Wow, they've got them. Okay, yeah, 16 minutes. Full 1812 Overture by Tchaikovsky. Yeah, Hall of the Mountain King is a certified 1800s banger, as someone said. When was it composed? Yeah, 1875? 1875. Edvard Grieg. Good stuff. Pop Americano. That's probably not royalty free, unfortunately. It'd be so sick if I could actually play like all my music on stream, but fun is not to be had, unfortunately. Cartoon Battle. What's Cartoon Battle? Let's do the glasses. Glasses are always fun to draw. Let's do 2 pixel. I like these glasses. This is good. You're the editor for your friend. They haven't posted in a long time. It's driving me insane. For YouTube? Your friend's YouTube channel? Should I play Cartoon Battle? It's Chinese music. Let me see. If it's in here, sure. But I can only play royalty-free stuff. Yes. I can. I'll do it after this. I've got it queued up. Alpha Chan, what are you posting? I've got to translate that, I'm sorry. Russian. Oh, some Soviet stuff. I love this piece. Let's get the colors. For the glasses. Oops. Alright, now I can merge these. Black. Cool. One awesome. See you later, if you're still here. Thanks for joining tonight. Cartoon Battle is royalty free. Yep, I have it in the YouTube audio library. Is there going to be a morning stream tomorrow? Yeah, I'll do a stream at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I'll make sure to wake up. Here, let me set my alarm now. It'll probably be short though, because I want to go to a coffee shop and read tomorrow morning. I don't want to talk over this song because I love it. You're right, Tchaikovsky hates this piece. Really? You know, it's not uncommon for artists to hate, like, their one most popular piece for whatever reason. Patrick Stewart, for example, I think famously doesn't really like talking about Star Trek. Well, that's not true. The story I heard is that Patrick Stewart likes talking about other things that he's done, other roles he's had, like particularly his... he used to be part of the Royal Shakespeare Company before he was picked up for Star Trek Next Generation. And he would love when fans would talk to him about Shakespeare, because everyone always talks to him about Star Trek. But yeah, I think it's pretty common for artists to not really like talking about their most popular work, and they feel like it's over... it's not as good as some of their other things. which I don't quite understand, you know? Like, if you make a piece of art that's popular, it means that a lot of people liked it, and you produce something of value, like, intangible value to someone, and that means something, you know? Even if you don't personally think it's your best work, that's something to be proud of, you know, that you've made a positive contribution to humanity in that sense, even if, again, it's not your personal favorite. But that's interesting. I didn't like this. Is Beethoven's Fifth available here? It's probably right. Alright, let me finish drawing the US. Do the red. This is a long piece. 60 minutes. Yeah, we haven't gotten to the cannons yet. It's the best part. 1812 was such a good piece. You managed to find the score online. It's so interesting. Always looking for it. Looking to it for inspiration for your own pieces. Do you compose music, Conrad? Are you a musician? Polandball Instagram when? I've never had an Instagram. I'm not a social media person. We're getting toward the end of both the comic and this piece. Purge these layers. Fill in this star. Made US a little bit too small, I think. That's okay. Whoops. I really like this comic. Here we go, we're getting to the end. Oh no, what happened? Audio track unavailable. What? There we go. Here we go. Awesome. Cartoon battle. Welcome, Invita. La Marseillaise. That's like a top 3 national anthem as well. I love La Marseillaise. Line up a bit. Is this a Fukushima reference? No, this is just an absurd An absurd Polandball comic. I try to do a very classic Polandball kind of comic, so it's basically done. Nihon Adventurous Eater. E2 Dolphin. E2 where? E2 Plutonium? Ouch and help, my DNA is due the unravel. Why are you like this? Why does the... This looks like it's, bold. Yeah, it looks... Okay. Guess it was bolded. I think this is a great comic. I love this. This is one of my favorite comics that I've done in a while. And then I was going to solve this problem. I guess I could just make it, I don't know. I don't need the whole whale sort of on the screen, you know? So let's try this. I think that looks fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. Move this down a bit. Let's merge these. Feels a bit more quiet in here without the music. How about a piano piece? Oh, what? Stop. Let me see. Some Beethoven. For Elise. You're trying to write a national Chilean anthem, but it's hard to find inspiration. Use a synthesizer. The news that you said about the Japanese mafia and plutonium, that's what inspired this comic. So this was the panel that I used in Polandball the Polandball News episode this week. I thought this was a really funny panel. I think "ouch and fuck, my DNA is due the unravel" was a great line, and I wanted to build a comic around that. So I reverse engineered a comic where Japan just eats weird shit. Because, you know, dolphins, whales, why not plutonium? This feels like a very classic Polandball comic, and it doesn't need shading. I think it's better without shading. You can play this piece on piano? Right on. See what else we've got. I would love to play the Interstellar soundtrack. It's so good, but there's no shot. It's not copyright protected. Moonlight Sonata, we can do that. Beethoven's Fifth. Lou Bega's Fifth Mambo. It would be interesting to make a comic about Long Year Bien. What is that? Long Year Bien. Oh, it's in Svalbard. World's northernmost settlement with a population greater than 1,000. And the largest inhabited area of Svalbard. I Svalbard was one of those places that I thought would be cool to visit until I looked into it and realized that polar bears live there and will be dangerously close to human settlements. So it's going to be no for me, dog. I don't want to be anywhere where a polar bear is. Those things are terrifying. I want to see, in sort of the camp of like not really touristy destinations or well-known places. I want to go to French Guiana. I want to see Kourou, the spaceport. And you know, it's a tropical country, but it's not a place that really gets a lot of tourists, you know? Guyane. C'est français. Guyanese. There's a weird law where it says you can't die. A weird law there where it says you can't die. In Longyearbyen, in Svalbard. Interesting. I think this comic is done. I really like this panel, the penultimate panel. Just holding a container of radioactive material. Should I eat this? Nihon Adventures Eater. Move that up a bit. Dolphin. I love this comic. This is great. Here, I want to see. I'm going to check the Polandball subreddit. I haven't looked at it today. Oh, Aaron posted a new comic. Of course he did. Aaron posts like 2 comics a day. He does one at like 8 a.m. Eastern time, and then another one at like 4 p.m. Maximizes karma intake. Oh, that's a good comic. NATO goes to Ukraine. That's a good one. Let me see what the top ones were this week. I think Zemo Nitrome posted the one that I was talking about earlier, where it's some East Asian countries eating cats and dogs. It was funny. Let me see if I can find it. Past week. Was it Zemo? Where is it? Where is it? I'm not going to show it on stream because I don't have his permission, even though he is part of the YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure it was his. Maybe I just go to his profile. Africa versus Asia. That's it. Okay. It's a good comic. Macron plans to convene leaders of all parties in French Parliament on March 7th to discuss the war in Ukraine. France is considering allowing its special forces and some other units across the Ukrainian border. Such a measure is seen as a means of creating a strategic dilemma for Russia, according to Le Monde, citing sources. That is fucking baller. Holy shit. If French troops go into Ukraine and Russia doesn't, really up the ante, that's a game changer for Ukraine. If NATO forces can move inside of Western Ukraine, see F's in the chat. Did the stream die? Oh no, you're mourning a cake. Oh, you're mourning Sunnyflower. Okay, I see. Okay. I'm gonna save this comic. It was solid. Done with it. What should this be titled? Fukushima Sashimi? I think they are. NATO let Ukraine pass the Russian red line. Anyways, for real, France was thought of as a surrender country, but now the opposite happened. So, France is has traditionally been Europe's major military power. They lose one war. They didn't even lose the war. They lost one battle, right? The country was partially occupied. They had to surrender, right? They still ultimately won the war because they had allies that came to their aid, right? And that's part of war, is having powerful allies. Not just powerful allies, but having allies, right? France had more powerful allies than Germany did. So they still ultimately won the war because the US and the UK and Canada and various other sort of free forces, like the Polish free forces, and of course the French free forces, liberated France. You lose one war, and people, shit on you forever. France has always been a heavy hitter militarily. And, with Trump saying all his crazy and insane shit about U.S. not defending NATO countries, it vindicates France's policy of strategic autonomy that they've undertaken since de Gaulle. Or not even since de Gaulle, sorry. Since the Suez Crisis in 1956. The Suez Crisis taught Britain and France two different things, two different lessons. The British decided, we're not going to cross the U.S. again. We're just going to cozy up to them and basically sort of follow their lead on most things. The French learned a different lesson, which is that we don't want to be subservient to American interests. We are going to pursue a policy of strategic autonomy where, yes, we are allied with the United States, but we're not just going to be an extension of your power. We want to be able to do things that we want to be able to pursue our own interests, and we don't want to rely on an ally for our own defense, right? And you can't blame them because, relying on an ally for their own defense didn't serve Poland well or Czechoslovakia well. And ultimately, France needs to be able to protect itself because even when it was allied with Britain at the start of World War II, they still lost the Battle of France, right? They fell to Germany. So France has always been a powerful, it's always been a significant military power. Not so much anymore, just because we're moving into this new phase where the modern great powers are significantly more powerful than, sort of the 19th and early 20th century paradigm we had, where the great powers were, the European powers, and then Japan and the United States. Now the great powers are they're like a tier above where France and the UK are. You've got China, the United States, Japan, the EU, Russia. The UK and France, they haven't stopped their gradual decline, India is going to be a superpower in 2066 with current trends. India has the potential to be a superpower, and the EU has the potential to be a superpower. China is either already a superpower or an emerging superpower. Those are really the four entities that could, by the end of this century, either be or remain superpowers. U.S. is stagnant? No, I disagree. U.S. economic growth has been great the past 10, 15 years. And its demographics are healthier than the European Union, than Russia, than China. India's are obviously better, but India has to deal with more internal domestic issues than China or the United States. India has the capacity to be a superpower at some point, but it really depends if they can manage it well. You know, having a large economy alone is not enough. Having a large population alone is not enough. Even right now, you know, China's economy is within, it's something like 60 to 70% of the size of the American economy, which is significantly more than the next largest national economy, which is Germany, at something like 4.4 trillion. The Chinese economy is something like 4 times the size of the German economy. And Germany is obviously not a superpower. But China is not able to project power in the way that the United States can in terms of, you know, military power, and they don't have the soft power that the United States has. They can't really attract a lot of countries to their position to align them with their interests the way that the U.S. can, right? Barack Obama famously said this, that the main strength of the United States diplomatically is that it is able to create coalitions that other countries can't, you know? For example, Japan and South Korea will not do bilateral military drills because there's too much bad blood. There's too much historical animosity between those two countries. So they won't do bilateral military drills. They will do trilateral military drills with the United States. China is not capable of doing that same thing with other countries. One, because it doesn't have many allies to begin with, but two, it can't sort of serve as a bridge between different countries that might not like each other. That's something that the U.S. is good at doing. Countries like France and the U.K. are not quite as good at it either, but they kind of have the capacity, but they're just much smaller. Germany will be surpassed by 2030 in India. Yeah, I mean, sure. You know, Indian economic potential is enormous. U.S. does have more soft power. Yeah, I mean, in terms of soft power, it's undisputed that the U.S. is the top right now. And the UK is honestly probably second, just because it's, you know, the next largest English-speaking majority country, and because you still have the legacy of the British Empire. The fact that English is the global lingua franca is a testament to the UK's still cultural power, its soft power. Now I'm just talking to stream. I'm not even drawing. I don't know if you guys care. U.S. is starting to fall out of Pax Americana. Oh, yeah, for sure. The U.S.'s unipolar moment is definitely coming to a close. We're entering a more multilateral system. I wouldn't say multilateral yet. I think it's becoming more not multilateral, multipolar. I think we're reverting more to a bipolar system where we had, you have two major poles in the international system, the U.S. and China. Although China doesn't occupy quite the same position in the international system that the Soviet Union did, for example. The Soviet Union was truly a global superpower. You know, it had influence globally. It was more limited in its reach than the United States, right? It was always the lesser of the two superpowers. China does have the potential to overtake the U.S. in some metrics. It's not guaranteed, though, and they are having troubles now. Demographically and with their economy, and you know the greater authoritarianism and cult of personality they've got with Xi Jinping, but we are, you know, China is just so massive in its own right that, you know, something like 17% of the human population lives in China, right? Same thing with India. That just through sheer size, they are important. They're significant, even if they weren't, you know, as powerful and as wealthy as they've now become. There's some people that suggest that China will fall into a second warlord era in a few years. I mean, it's really hard to predict the future. I mean, historically, China has fallen apart many times. Although under the current regime, the Communist Party is among the strongest China has ever been. You know, they've done a remarkable thing in lifting hundreds of millions of people out of poverty. You know, that's not to say that they don't have their problems, of course. You know, I'm not a fan of the CCP, but they turned sort of a backwater agrarian state into a global superpower in a matter of decades. It's pretty remarkable. Alright, I don't want to play Beethoven anymore. Sorry. Back to Synthwave. Do you think if Beethoven was alive today, he would like Synthwave music? He's deaf, he wouldn't be able to hear it. But yeah, I mean, the international landscape is always changing. But, I mean, the most dangerous era is like the next 5 years. Just because there's a confluence of sort of events and characteristics that define China and China's relationship with the United States and Taiwan that makes it so that the best opportunity for China to try and, you know, force a solution to the Taiwan issue is within like the next 5 years. After that, you know, the demographic decline is sort of terminal, and it will get weaker and weaker, particularly as the U.S. keeps growing, and the U.S. has sort of ramped up its defense industrial base to be able to counter China more effectively. So these next 5 years are sort of the window of opportunity for China to move militarily, which is why it's important for the U.S. and NATO and American allies to support Ukraine as a deterrent against Chinese aggression. You know, if Russia can get bogged down in Ukraine, it sends a message to China, don't try anything funny with Taiwan, you know? There's always been chaos in the US every 40 years. Yeah, I mean, look, the US is not a perfect country, far from it. You know, I'll be the first to criticize the US for all the stupid shit we've done and continue to do. But it does some things right. Like the fact that the US can have such a crazy political system and oscillate between what seem to be political extremes, and yet it's still a global superpower. It says maybe less about the US and more about the rest of the world. You know? If the US can fuck up this much and still be at the top of the international system, like what does that say about other countries? Like the US can fuck up a lot, but it's not fucking up as much as other countries, you know? Like the EU's economy has been stagnant for over a decade. You know, the EU used to have a larger economy than the United States, even if you take the UK out of the equation. Yeah, I mean, countries, the power of countries ebbs and flows. I think the US was probably at a lower point maybe 10 years ago than it is now, in terms of its sort of international prestige and power. But, you know, the US probably peaked twice. The most recent peak was in the 1990s, after, you know, in the immediate aftermath of the collapse of the Soviet Union, when the U.S. emerged from the Cold War as the only superpower. No one could sort of challenge the U.S. in the international domain. That was easily probably the second highest height the U.S. hit. The highest height the U.S. hit was, it has to be between 1945 and 1949. When World War II was over and the U.S. had a nuclear monopoly, it was easily the most powerful country on the planet. No one could challenge it. But that nuclear monopoly only lasted for 4 years. $1 is less than a euro now. Yeah, but historically, the dollar has always been worth less than the euro. But the actual rate, the exchange rate of currencies, is totally irrelevant to economic power. India will be a superpower by 2026? No, fat chance. 2 years. Superpower is also a term that gets thrown around too lightly. It feels bad to say, but like the world has not seen like the destruction the US is actually capable of like in a human lifetime. You know, we think about the Iraq War, the Afghanistan War. This is the US like being very restrained, you know? This is God, I forget. I read this somewhere on Reddit. Where, you know, people will complain about American imperialism, and justifiably, right? Like, American imperialism is bullshit. It's neo-imperialism, right? If the Western world was imperialist in the way that it used to be, the world would look a lot different. So, like, the accusations of, like, France and the UK and the US being imperialist falls a little flat, I think. But, like, if those countries, like NATO countries, wanted to take over if they wanted to take over certain countries, they absolutely could do it. You know, if they didn't show restraint in their actions. But just keep drawing. I think I'm actually going to end stream soon because I've just been ranting now and I'm kind of tired. And I've been streaming for... This might be my longest stream. No, actually not quite. Just under 3 hours. But yeah, I think I'm going to end stream there for tonight. This was a fun stream for me, and I really like this comic. I'll probably post this tomorrow morning, so keep an eye out in the r/Polandball subreddit. And I guess I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern US time. I'll do a short morning stream, maybe an hour and a half, and then I am going to go and enjoy my weekend. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you had a great Friday. I hope your week was good. I will see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.